What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and welcome to episode 8 of the recap with E-Man. And today we have got a ton of things to talk about. There's some huge Star Wars news. We got a bunch of upcoming movies and sequels that are about to drop, Marvel projects that have been announced. And for all you Spider-Man fans out there, there is some great news coming up right after this. Alright, let's jump right into it with the Star Wars news. Taika Waititi has been confirmed to have his own Star Wars movie in the works. He's co-writing and directing it. So there's a high probability, my guess anyway, that there's going to be a lot of comedy involved if he is going to be writing this movie. Now, there are no details about what this Star Wars movie is about or, any plot details or anything like that, or no one has been announced, to be cast in it. But hey, I think that just the news of Taika Waititi doing a Star Wars film would be pretty cool, just given what we've seen from him in Thor Ragnarok. Next up, Boba Fett is making a return back to Star Wars. It has been announced that Boba Fett is coming back to the Mandalorian Disney Plus series, and he'll be portrayed by the original actor Temuera Morrison. The one thing that's kind of interesting about this news, though, is the fact that it's news at all. I'm surprised that Disney would even allow this to be leaked or to be announced, because this would be like a huge marketing ploy. Just imagine if you're watching The Mandalorian episode by episode and then all of a sudden, boom, Boba Fett just pops up. It would break the internet, it would just literally have Star Wars fans going crazy. So my guess is that maybe it was just too hard to contain that secret. They already announced, for Ahsoka, with Rosario Dawson, that she was going to be in season 2. I don't know, but if you have been following these episodes, you already know that season 3 is already in the works. So you got Boba Fett, you got Ahsoka coming in. The Clone Wars series on Disney Plus already is just bananas. So there's a very high probability that season 2 of The Mandalorian is going to be glorious. Alright, moving on to just some regular movie news. Sly Stallone was on his Instagram recently doing a Q&A, and he just so happened to announce that they're working on a Demolition Man 2. Now, I don't even know what they're going to do with this. There was no confirmation on whether or not Wesley Snipes was going to return. I don't know. There was a theory out there that maybe a clone of his character will be coming back. I guess it'll be kind of interesting just to see what they do with it. I'm not trying to be an ageist or anything, but Sly is kind of getting up there in age. So I kind of wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to explain the 3 seashells? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it just to see what they do with it. I remember when I was younger, I did like Demolition Man. I enjoyed it as a kid, so maybe there's some potential. You guys let me know. Are you excited for Demolition Man 2? Do you have any reservations? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, next up, speaking of exciting news, Nick Cage has been announced to play Joe Exotic in the upcoming Tiger King movie. I did not see this coming. There was talks about Drax Shepard was going to play it, and, people were talking about David Spade, and this just came out of left field. It feels and sounds more like it would be a joke, but this is real. So Nick Cage is back. He is doing his thing. He is going to be Joe Exotic. I don't know how to explain this, but one way or another, I definitely blame Carol Baskin for this. I don't know. But staying on the Nick Cage train, he is also going to be, it was recently announced that he is going to be in the National Treasure sequel. So if you were a fan of the National Treasure, previous 2 films, there's another one coming. Nick Cage is going to be in it. And it was also announced that they're going to do a Disney Plus series but it's not going. That series is not going to star Nick Cage. It's actually going to take place with a younger cast. So I don't know if it's like a reboot or if it's like their earlier adventures. Not really sure. But, hey, I remember, National Treasure was actually pretty enjoyable. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be interesting. I'm always down for a nice heist movie. But you let me know. Are you excited for Joe Exotic, who will be played by Nick Cage? Or, how are you feeling about a National Treasure Part 3? Like, are you excited for this sequel? All right. Anyway, moving on to the horror realm, Neve Campbell was recently interviewed, and she is in talks with doing Scream 5. Originally, she did not want to do another Scream movie because of the passing of legendary director Wes Craven. So, she just wasn't really up for it. But it sounds as though the movie studios have kind of like talked her into it, basically saying that they really want to honor Wes Craven and everything that he was kind of doing within the Scream franchise. So, there's a good possibility that a lot of the original cast members might come back. I do get a little, apprehensive when it comes to like the fifth movie in a franchise like that, especially with horrors. It's kind of hard to figure out like what you're going to do next. I hope they find something unique and don't just do like, copycat killers or whatever. Don't know, but I'm interested to see what they try and do to make it fresh and different. Well, that's not the only sequel that's in the works. Chris Hemsworth's Extraction, which you can find on Netflix, that is also getting a sequel. And I guess maybe it's a spoiler alert. If you've seen the movie and you've seen the ending that tries to be ambiguous, this might confirm one or the other of those, the endings possibly. We don't really know. All we know is that it's been reported that Joe Russo from the Russo brothers that bring you Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Joe Russo is going to be writing a script for it. He wrote the script for the first Extraction, so the studios were like, hey, you got the green light, let's do the second one. I kind of thought that's what was going to happen anyway. I think that's why they left the ending of the first Extraction to be kind of either way. Because if the movie were to prove to be successful, well, hey, now you got a green light to just keep on going with it. And if it happened to tank, then hey, you know the other ending if you've seen the movie. So it's coming. There's going to be another one. At this point, I've got super low expectations. I did enjoy Extraction. You can definitely check out my spoiler-free review if you haven't already for that. You all let me know. Are you excited for a Extraction 2 movie? I'm also kind of wondering if could this be a prequel? Maybe this takes place before all the events in the first one. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what Joe Russo comes up with. All right, now let's go a little bit out there. And Tom Cruise, man, I already thought my man was kind of out there. But now he's really going out there by apparently going out to outer space with Elon Musk. And I'm not talking about in the form of a movie. Tom Cruise and Elon Musk's SpaceX are working on a project with NASA that would be the first narrative feature film, an action adventure, to be shot in outer space. Now, it does not appear that it's going to be a Mission Impossible movie, but hey, we know Tom Cruise likes to shoot his own stunts, and this will definitely take the cake. Hey, good luck. That's all I can say. I don't know what this movie's going to be about, but the fact that this man is literally going to be in space, and I think it's a record. Like, I think he's going to be the first actor in space to shoot the very first movie in space. So, whew, man, that's something. So we'll see what happens. All right, now we can move on to some MCU projects. There's been a lot of news about what's been dropping with the different things within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First up, we've got a Ghost Rider series or a movie that will be in development. We're not really sure whether it's going to be a movie or if it's going to be on Disney Plus, like as a series. But what we do know is that it will be within the MCU. I kind of think that a series might be better for Ghost Rider at this point, only because like I thought a series worked out pretty well in the Agents of Shield. You know, when they had that little Ghost Rider, time in the season. And then maybe, if he starts to grow on people, which I kind of think he will, you throw him in some of the movies. I would love to see Ghost Rider tag team with Doctor Strange. I mean, they both kind of work in the same element a little bit. So that'll be something pretty interesting if they go that route. Another series that is confirmed to come to Disney Plus is Ironheart. For those of you unfamiliar, Ironheart follows Riri Williams, a 15-year-old engineering genius attending MIT, and Riri builds a suit based on Iron Man's armor and takes up the name of Ironheart. And this Disney Plus series plans to be shooting sometime in 2021. Hey, I'm cool with it. I remember when the comic dropped, some people were kind of upset because they were thinking that Riri was like trying to replace Iron Man, but that's not really the case. Like, she's Ironheart, so it's not that far fetched to assume that someone as popular as Iron Man, who does go disappearing in the comics and stuff like that at that time, would inspire other people to, follow in his footsteps. So I like the fact that Riri Williams is her own character. I definitely like the representation and diversity it brings to the table. I got a 12-year-old daughter. If I could, and she loves Iron Man. So if she can see another character on screen that looks like her and, fuses that concept of Iron Man together, I'm for it. I'm down with it. So, and I think it'll be something fun. Disney Plus, we've said it many times, they need as much content as possible. So throw that on there. I'm down. Then we have some other Marvel news, which is that there is a Nova movie or a series also in development. Now, this has been confirmed previously by Kevin Feige in interviews. He said that I want to say it had like immediate potential or something of that nature. But many fans already kind of assumed that we were going to get Nova somewhere, somehow, especially given how Infinity War kicked off. For those of you that might not recall, remember the way that Thanos just kind of plowed through the Nova Corps, and he was able to obtain the Power Stone. And back in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the Nova Corps, they were the ones that were holding on to the Power Stone. So clearly Thanos just obliterated them, and he got the Power Stone from them. But Richard Rider, who I believe is going to be Nova, he's like the final survivor, the last of the Nova Corps. So I think it'd be kind of cool if they do a project with him. Now, the question is, do you want Nova to have a movie or a series on Disney Plus? This is where I stand on it. If you do a movie, you should do a movie only if you're going to show that big battle with Thanos and how he defeats and just utterly destroys the Nova Corps. That's the only time I think I'd really want to see Nova in, a movie setting, especially if this is the first time we're being introduced to him. Other than that, if you can't get Josh Brolin, if you can't get Thanos, if it's too expensive, whatever, then I think the next best course will be to make it a Disney Plus series, because Nova's not that well known. He's not a household name outside of comic book fans. So it'll probably be better to have a series, because with the Disney Plus series, you have more time to get to know the character, you get more time to get attached to him, etc. So hey, 6-8 episodes, we find out, maybe in some flashbacks what happened. But if you're gonna give me a big battle, give me the movie. But if you want me to get to know him, do it on Disney Plus. But you all let me know, would you rather see the movie of Nova, or do you just want to see it as a Disney Plus series? last but not least, with the Marvel news, some good news. Falcon and the Winter Soldier has recently been announced to get the green light to proceed with production. So, of course, as you know, with the whole pandemic and quarantine and all that stuff going on, there was a hold on production and they had to stop shooting in different countries and stuff. I think they were like in the Czech Republic or something like that. But now they're able to resume shooting. They were already kind of like in the process of shooting. I want to say most of the season was already done. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they've got the green light. They can go on, finish up. And I think if they're able to finish up now, they should be able to still come out like in 2021, reasonably on time. And, of course, they're going to take the proper procedures, do a bunch of tests and things like that, just to make sure all the cast and crew are safe. But now we can finally get to the bigger news that I was really excited about. And that is something that all you Spider-Man fans, including myself, can be very happy for. Producer Christopher Miller, during a quarantine watch party of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, said that they almost featured a post-credit scene, check this out, with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. And all of them were going to appear next to like Spider-Ham or something like that. Do you know what that means? Like, they were about to do the biggest crossover that everybody is pretty much wanted. And the crazy thing is, Miller had said that him and Phil Lord, they pitched the idea to Sony, and the Sony brass, the higher execs, when they heard about Toby and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland all coming together, they felt that it was too soon. Man, look, Sony, you already got a jacked up name for this whole universe. You already, don't know what you're doing half of the time. Don't play with this. Just, Sony, don't play around with this. This is easy money. Easy money. There are two things Sony can do to get a fulfilling dollars in these box offices, all right? You give us a Maximum Carnage with Venom and Carnage and Spider-Man, and you give us a crossover Spider-Verse, and you bring all three, Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland, and you better put Miles in there too. You put them all on the same screen, you gonna get your money. You gonna get my money. You gonna get my money. So all I know is that Sony better not play around. I get it. They say it's too soon. Okay, but that means that wasn't a no. That means that they are going to consider it. So I am very okay with this. I am very happy with this news that we might be getting a little closer to having the real Spider-Verse come all together. Well, that's all for the news I got for today. I'll leave you off with what I've been watching during this week. A while ago, I had said that I was going to start Altered Carbon. I went ahead and started it. I am almost done. I think I got like one episode left in season 2. But I think I've got a pretty good handle on how I feel about it, just because I'm almost done with it. If you haven't seen it, Altered Carbon is kind of like Ghost in the Shell meets Blade Runner. If you don't like either one of those movies and or series, this is not going to be for you. This does feel very uber sci-fi. You really got to be a nitty gritty, deep down sci-fi lover, I think, to really enjoy Altered Carbon. The first season was okay. It was cool. Like, I liked the whole world building that they were doing. They were setting up the little instances with politics and, the sociology and all that stuff. Like, I was cool with that. I like the IT tech stuff. Matter of fact, I'm glad that I have a background in IT. So that kind of helped me keep up with it. That also kind of makes me a little worried. Like, if computers and stuff like that is not your thing, I don't know if this will be either. I would say, like, if you've liked Ex Machina, if you've watched that and liked it, this could be definitely, up your alley. Now, when it came to like the second season, And Anthony Mackie was on there. I'm sorry. It just I had high hopes because I'm sitting here like I'm not gonna root against him. I will always give him a shot, but I just feel like he didn't add anything to the series, which is kind of messed up because he's kind of like the biggest name actor in the series. So you would think that he would kind of just bring something a little extra to it. I just didn't feel it. I don't know. Maybe if any of you have watched it, maybe you feel different. Let me know. But I just don't think he's that strong of a lead actor. I've said this before, and I thought Alter Carbon would kind of like, be his thing. Not so much. I'm not going to say he's terrible, but I'm not going to say he like kept me into it. I actually would prefer the Asian actor, the guy that, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name, but the guy that actually plays Kovacs, like the Asian original guy or whatever. Um, I think they should just have the series keep on going with him. Like, and I think it'll be just fine. But yeah, the second season, it just wasn't all that good to me. The mystery, that he's trying to unravel is pretty obvious. It was kind of predictable. And, if you can predict a mystery, it's kind of like, what's the point? So, Alter Carbon, I approach it at your own risk. I would say that if you haven't seen it, because I know I'm super late to it, so y'all don't have to remind me. But if you are considering it, I would say if the first 2 or 3 episodes don't hook you, it's probably going to be downhill from there for you. So watch it at your own risk. I'm already a little too invested in it to stop, so I'm going to watch it. Then I'll watch the re-sleeved anime. I heard the anime was actually pretty good, so I'll be checking that out as well. But anyway, you all let me know. What are you watching right now? Because I'm almost at my limit, for things, and I get a little distracted sometimes. So if you got some other things that you're watching, let me know. Of course, by the way, if you have any questions or topics that you would like for me to address, hit me up at askeman411@gmail.com. That is askeman411@gmail.com. I've got more videos and reviews that I will definitely be getting out to you guys very soon. So make sure you subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you all later.